Another week of social media censorship here. Candace Owens was temporarily suspended for one of her tweets on the coronavirus. I don't have it here in front of me. Perhaps we'll put it up on this video. She's back now, but it was one of those situations. I believe James Woods even got a temporary suspension this week. He didn't post for about 5 days due to Twitter labeling it as misinformation on the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh.
And then Education for Liberals, one of the most popular accounts on Twitter. Most people have been on Twitter a long time, have been following him a long time on his great tweets. He was permanently suspended from Twitter. He tried working around it. He came back the very next day, gained 60,000 followers in a day, and then they suspended him again. So they're really shutting down his voice.
Unbelievable.
What do you think of this, Rob? Not only are we getting censored and dictated by our mayors and governors, now our free speech and they're censoring our thoughts online now as well.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't know that had happened to Candace. I know that Educating Liberal had been, censored. But I myself, this week, well, for the past 2 weeks, I've had difficulty posting, and any other rooms are retweeting. And the things that I have retweeted, they've been unretweeted, and some of the posting that I've made, they wouldn't post. So I'm thinking, are you serious? I mean, what's going on? So for the past couple of weeks, I was just only able to put something out there to tweet it, but I couldn't post it in a lot of the rooms because they wouldn't allow me. And they didn't come to me and say anything. I would try it, and the system would just hang up. I tried my phone, I tried my computer, so I'm like, okay, fine. I will just post it, and hopefully people will see it. There's definitely a censorship going on with conservatives. They don't like what we're saying. But what I find interesting is that if people don't like it, they don't have to read it. And if you're saying that what we're putting out there, people aren't reading it, then why are you labeling it false news? I mean, I don't get it. It makes absolutely no sense at all. So whenever I post something, I'm like, this might be the day that they kick me off. This might be the day that they tell me, hey, you can't post. But it makes absolutely no sense. So when I hear Jack Dorsey saying things like, oh, well, we're not censoring, we're not doing this, it's like, because we have this whole complicated system whereby they're looking at the tweets. No, your system is geared toward conservatives. Okay. I do believe that there's someone who's there, literally, they probably have a team of people that are looking at certain tweets, and they're probably saying, oh, let's flag this, let's flag that. Or when someone says something that is truthful, they don't like it. I mean, what I've been doing is just taking their own words, videotaping what they've said, and just putting it out there. So if you say that what I'm saying is wrong, then what the person said was wrong and was fake news. So I guess the way to get around it is like, well, we can't suspend him because he's only putting their words out there, but we'll keep people from seeing it. So I have people saying, oh, we haven't seen any posts of yours. I'm like, well, it's there, but I guess they're shadow banning or they're not letting it come out there. They're suppressing the information. So it does happen. All the more reason that we can't depend on Twitter to get our voices out there. We can't depend on YouTube, because YouTube is doing the same thing. They're deciding what's real news and what's not real news based upon what qualifications might I ask. It's like, you're going to decide what's news and what's not news, and who gave you that right to do it, and what is your background? But they're deciding to do it themselves. So, Patriots, again, you got to make certain that this November you get out there and vote. Don't listen to what they're saying, even independents and even Democrats. If you're for freedom of speech, you need to get out there and vote for the people who are going to protect it. Unfortunately, Joe Biden is not the person. Joe Biden was just assumed as to give all your freedoms to China. Because remember, his son was on the board of some China company making millions of dollars. Joe Biden wanted to placate to the Chinese, as well as Mike Bloomberg. So you have to know the facts. You have to look and say, wait a minute, what is the end game here? What are they really trying to accomplish? And why can't we move the ball forward? If Joe Biden couldn't do it within the last 40 plus years, why do you think he can do it now? Well, they'll silence our voices so that you can't hear the truth, so that he can get out there and do what he wants to do. So I would say, wake up, smell the coffee.
Absolutely. Apparently, anything that the liberal media doesn't agree with is misinformation, according to Twitter. I've got the tweet that Candace Owens got temporarily suspended for. She said, apparently, Governor Whitmer believes she is a duly elected dictator of a socialist country. The people of Michigan need to stand up to her. Open your businesses. Go to work. The police think she's crazy, too. They're not going to arrest 10 million people for going to work. And that was what she got suspended for.
Okay, so they suspended her because of that.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's, well, I think
They made her.
I don't think.
They made her delete the tweet. Now she's back.
Well, I don't think necessarily that it was the tweet. I think it was the person who said it, and they know that people believe her more so than the fake news. No, it makes it just this is ridiculous because the tweet that you read is just that. There's nothing false about it. She's saying, people, go ahead, open up. I mean, there's a tweet right there. Believe she's a dude. I mean, what? And you have people on the left who have said worse things about the president. He's colluding with Russia. He's a Russian ally. He's a Russian operative. All lies. And they continue to do it and continue to say it. And they're not suspended. It's like, folks, I mean, again, you got to wake up and see what's happening here. Because this is really dangerous. From setting up Mike Bland, to trying to silence conservatives, kicking people off of Twitter because you don't like what they're saying. No, it's not that they don't like what they're saying. They don't like the individual. They don't like the person who's saying it because they know the person who's saying it is giving it credibility. That's very dangerous. We're becoming a nanny state. This is China. Look at what China did to the NBA. When certain NBA officials came out in support of Hong Kong, what did China do? Okay, if you're going to do that, we're not going to play some of your games. What did the NBA do? Oh, we got to leave Hong Kong alone. I mean, and the same thing with Bloomberg. Bloomberg will not report negative information on the Wuhan virus because if they do, China will shut them down. This is what's happening, folks, before your very eyes. So when you have the media saying Donald Trump this and Donald Trump is that, it's like, no, look at what the media is doing. They're selectively reporting the news to you because they're in bed with a lot of these foreign players. And I think literally as well as, fundamentally, they're probably there.